What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies? I'm back. ICE is in the TSA or in the airport helping TSA, and the Democrats are mad at it. Joe Kent is a nut job. Wait till you hear what he tweeted, and also what may happen with him in the Charlie Kirk trial. A guy who's quadriplegic ended up shooting somebody with a gun in a car. Tell me how in the world something like that happens. The actor Jack Richter, or not Jack Richter, but I forget his name. The actor who played Jack Richter ended up getting into a fight with a guy, beating his brakes off, which is, he was justified in it. But before I get to all that, I want to touch base on the LaGuardia plane crash, just give you a few updates. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I want to thank everybody that has been a member. I really appreciate you. People that are now becoming members, new members, people that have been there for a while. I want to thank all of you guys. I appreciate the membership program is going out of control, and I love it, and I appreciate it. And also, I want to say this before I say anything else. I should have said this first. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank every single one of y'all who's been holding your boy down. You have no idea how crazy this stuff has been for me, how much hate I get on a day-to-day basis, and it's annoying. But for y'all who have supported me from the beginning, I'm talking to you. I see you. I appreciate you. Every comment, all of those things make an incredible difference for somebody like me, especially with all the hate that's going on. And so I really appreciate your support. Let's get to LaGuardia real quick. I just want to give a quick update. That was an incredibly tragic situation that happened. Obviously, people feel like there's a lot of blame to go around, which there is. And I want to give you guys some insight on what could have happened in this crash if you have not already seen it. We have audio of the actual communication with the tower. We also have some experts that are bringing up questions that make you think about it. Make you wonder who was really at fault and how do we prevent this in the future? Real quick, we're going to touch on this, and then we're going to get to ICE at the airport. Roll the clip.
There's a safety system in place at the LaGuardia airport that should have prevented this Air Canada disaster. So why didn't it? Well, let's look at that safety system. The FAA calls it the runway status lights, and essentially it's installed for the single purpose of preventing runway incursions. It's a fully automated program designed to automatically signal pilots and vehicle operators when it's unsafe to enter or cross the runway, or even that it's unsafe to begin a takeoff roll. Now, look at the scenario that the FAA puts on their website. The signals show red for this vehicle, making it stop, waiting for that airplane to cross. Now, at LaGuardia, the ground controller gave the airplane landing clearance and gave clearance to the fire truck. What's particularly interesting, though, if you look at the video, is that you see flashing lights in the runway environment, indicating that these runway entrance lights were working. Guidance from the FAA says what precautions should be taken if verbal clearance is received from the tower, but the lights are illuminated. The clearance clearly states here, pilot vehicle operators should hold short of the runway and advise air traffic control they're holding for red lights. So I'm not placing blame. However, this is going to be a significant thing that the National Transportation Safety Board will investigate. By the way, this system is installed at 20 airports around the country, including the LaGuardia Airport and including Orlando International Airport. So there you go, something else to look for in this investigation.
You know, one thing I wonder, I've never done, air traffic control, so I have no idea what demands are on those people. You know, one thing that I do wonder is that if you're in a fire truck and the airplane is landing, the lights are on, lights are flashing, even if the air traffic controller tells you you're free to go, I would assume you would go, all right, he said I was free, and let me do a visual survey so I know that I'm free to go. I don't know what happened. Like I've never been in a fire truck, so I don't know what he could see. But you would think that what happens is, and I'm not saying this is the situation, but what happens is people get into a sense of complacency, meaning that they're just going by no crash has happened in 100 years. It's never going to happen. Am I free to go? Okay, I'm free to go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm hoping that that's not what has happened. If it has been a situation that had happened that way, then we know that this could have been 100% preventable, and it's not like there's some tragic thing going on where planes are going to start crashing every single day. I did listen to the audio of air traffic control, and you can hear that. Here, we have it available. Roll it.
One of the things the National Transportation Safety Board is going to want to try to understand here was controller workload, because what we hear on the air traffic control audio mainly is one voice, one controller who appears to be handling everything that's going on the ground at LaGuardia. And as that Air Canada flight was coming into land on runway 4, on the other runway, a United flight has aborted its takeoff. They received a warning light in the cockpit as they were starting their takeoff roll. They hit the brakes, they come off the runway, they radio that they had this issue, and now there is an odor in the cabin. The United captain declares an emergency because the odor in the cabin, flight attendants were starting to complain it was making them sick. You hear the fire truck asked to clear runway 4.
Truck 1 company, cross 4 Delta.
They get permission to drive across the runway.
4 at Delta.
Seconds later, the controller realizes his mistake and tries to stop it.
Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop.
Now, just real quick, just my feedback, because there's a lot of blame to go around, and obviously the air traffic controller is going to take the most heat. But when I was looking at that, I said, you would think that an active runway, airplanes are flying through the sky. If the air traffic controller says, yes, you're free to go, you look both ways. I bet you that's protocol. It doesn't matter what he said, he can make a mistake. You got to also have a visual of what you can see in your purview and make sure that he's not making a mistake. But then you would think that once you hit the gas pedal and the guy is on the radio saying, stop. I mean, he had to have been saying stop for like 3 or 4 seconds straight. You would think if you were paying attention, you would hit the brakes or you would divert. But it seems like there was a mistake on a lot of different areas. And it's almost impossible for the airplane to stop because it looked like the airplane was landing. But the person driving a fire truck, and it appeared to be the traffic controller, may have needed to do something different. So I just wanted to give a quick update on that because it was something that I thought about. You know, it obviously happened, and some updates came yesterday when I wasn't on. But the next thing I want to talk about, that the Democrats don't want to hear me talk about, and they don't want you to know, is that ICE agents were deployed to help TSA at the airport, and we saw wait times decrease significantly. Why is that? Because Donald Trump know what he's doing, and the Democrats, you know, he checkmate the Democrats on their scheme to hurt the American people and make TSA workers disgruntled, so you'll hate Donald Trump for the midterms. But let's get to a couple news clips so we can get back to understanding the totality of what's going on. Roll the clip.
Some of the longest and most frustrating security lines travelers have ever seen are getting longer this morning at some of America's biggest airports.
There's priorities, and this is one of them. This is crazy.
To help, the Trump administration says it's sending in hundreds of ICE agents.
We're simply there to help TSA do their job in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, such as, you know, screening through the X-ray machine. Not training that, we won't do that.
The president is blaming Democrats for not funding the Department of Homeland Security, saying on Monday ICE will be going to airports to help our wonderful TSA agents who have stayed on the job. But Democrats have offered to pay TSA officers in every part of Homeland Security except for ICE and Border Control, and Republicans are rejecting that deal. The president of the union that represents TSA workers says in a statement that putting ICE at airports won't help, writing that putting untrained personnel at security checkpoints does not fill a gap, it creates one. Without a paycheck, TSA workers are making ends meet by calling out and working other jobs. Both of Houston's airports are seeing nearly half their staffs call out. New Orleans, Atlanta, and JFK, all more than 30%. Those call-outs are leading to painful scenes like these.
This is crazy.
Long lines in New Orleans stretching deep into parking garages.
Maybe 2 hours, you kind of lose track.
And this was the line in Atlanta. Travelers reporting wait times of 153 minutes.
It was massive. I've never seen anything like it.
Katrina Terrell got to the airport 3 hours early for her flight out of Atlanta, but couldn't make it through this winding TSA line in time and missed her flight.
Our flight was at 11:10. However, when it started getting to 10:45, I said, oh, we're not going to make this flight. It was something that I've never seen before, and I hope I don't see it again.
At Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport, those wait times shot up to nearly 4 hours Sunday. The nation's 60,000 TSA workers haven't received a full paycheck since the partial government shutdown began 38 days ago. They'll get another $0 paycheck at the end of this week.
Do you know how stupid this is? And we're going to get to Hakeem Jeffries and these other nut job Democrats. Do you know how stupid this is? That you got people working and getting no paycheck. I don't understand how our country will allow this to happen for 30 seconds. Their bills are still due. Their mortgage is still due. The car note is still due. But you're not gonna pay them? Like this should be impossible for Congress to do this. And it should also go along with them sorry suckers won't get paid. All of them. We should have some type of system in place where this can never happen. Which means that if y'all can't agree, that's on y'all. Let me tell you this. If y'all can't agree, y'all don't get paid. How about we do that? Let's stop trying to. I don't know. I don't think it's trying to do anything. It's just that as a country, what are we doing? I can't imagine working all that time and then you get in there and get a paycheck. It just bothers me because Democrats, and it's really the Democrats. I'm mad at both sides because they grown people and they need to agree. But it seems like the Democrats are making this a political struggle so they can win in the midterms. Because nothing that they say makes any sense. Roll the clip. Listen to Hakeem Jeffries. Sorry.
What's your response to what
not Hakeem
Tom
Jeffries.
Holman revealed here?
Is that Hakeem? That all right, that is that sorry sucker. Listen to this. Listen to this fool. Hold on, first of all, Hakeem Jeffries needs somebody to do that hairline. Because that hairline is about as stupid as what he about to say. Dude, fix your hairline and cut all that hair off. You got a 5 head. You got a 5.5 head. You almost got a 6 head. And no brain in there. Just air. And bad hairline. And roll the clip.
What's your response to what Tom Holman revealed here?
Well, good morning. Great to be with you. There are 3 things that have been true since Donald Trump and Republicans came back into power last January. Life is more expensive, life is more chaotic, and life is more extreme. The last thing...
Time out. Because of y'all. Don't do all that. It is. Because if it is, and whatever aspect it is, because of y'all sorry dogs. Y'all should be supporting Donald Trump. You should be getting on the bandwagon. You don't have to agree with everything, but you need to make sure that American people are doing well. Y'all sorry son of a guns wish, hope, and pray that he fail and the country fail so you can say, I told you so. That's completely nonsensical. Roll the clip.
The American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize or in some instances kill them. We've already seen how ICE conducts itself. These are untrained individuals when it comes to doing the current job that they have for the most part, let alone deploying them in close exposure in highly sensitive situations at airports across the country.
Man, I don't know what airport he talking about. What airport are you talking about? You don't even need to know how to talk. You can be deaf and blind and do some of that stuff they do at the airport. What do you got to do? They and nothing against TSA workers, because I know a lot of them follow me. When I go to the airport, they always say hi to me. But bruh, a little bit of, a little crash course, you can watch that on the airplane. What do I need to look for? The thing that looks like a gun and a knife, at least. But to be honest, ICE ain't even doing that. All they're probably doing is helping with the ID here and there. My 5-year-old can look at your ID. Does that look like that person? Yeah, it does. Or whatever else they need help with and assistance that does not need training. But then we see wait time go down because Donald Trump is making actions that are conducive for the betterment of the people, while the Democrats are still complaining and bickering about ICE. That's a hill that they're going to die on. Make sure you don't eat because they don't like what ICE is doing. Because ICE got into a conflict with two idiots in one city and end up killing them. What are we even talking about here? All right, let's roll the little dummy that we saw on there, the little nut job. Where are these people made at? Because I don't know. They're not on planet Earth. Look at imagine being this stupid at an airport that one of these ICE agents would ragdoll you if you actually got into a conflict. But you so stunning and so brave that you're going to do this. Roll the clip.
Nazis don't belong in America.
Nazis.
And they don't belong in airports. Master Donald Trump, go back to your master. Putin, exactly. And Netanyahu, if he's still alive, go back to your master.
Tell me, I almost said something real bad. I almost said something real bad and I'd have regretted it. I was gonna say, tell me never mind. Them cuff pants tell you everything you need to know. With them socks and them pants. And probably don't even work on a job nowhere. Just stupid. Donald Trump has something to say about this. Let's roll the clip.
But I do want to point out, this is an empty line right now. We are standing in the middle where
Time out.
travelers...
This is not the clip of Donald Trump, my fault. This is a clip of her, the young lady, explaining how the airport in Philly actually have significantly lower wait times because of the deployment of ICE. Roll the clip.
Come to check in for TSA. Yesterday, this was all the way back to the garage. So good news today, lines aren't too bad. We're live from PHL. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Hey, good morning, Matt. Good news if you are traveling here this morning. Right now in Terminal A East, lines aren't that bad, but as you mentioned, ICE agents, they have arrived here at PHL. For the most part, we've been seeing them hanging back. However, they have been also assisting travelers as need be. I do want to point out that the agents aren't wearing masks. President Trump says while he is okay with ICE agents wearing masks during immigration enforcement raids, he does not want them doing so at the airports. Now, as long lines and delays continue due to the partial government shutdown, union reps with TSA says each day is getting worse. They have been working without pay for more than a month now. More than 400 have quit and thousands have called out across the country, many in order to work second jobs or because they cannot afford necessities like travel or childcare while getting unpaid. In response to this, President Trump has sent hundreds of ICE agents to 14 airports. Philadelphia is one of them. The difference is that ICE agents will be paid due to money from the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And this is despite the funding fight in Washington revolving over how ICE operates.
I think it's disappointing that we're paying for ICE agents to stand next to a door when we're not paying for TSA agents to pay their rent.
They're here for a reason. You know, they're here to probably keep people safe and everything. I mean, I don't know if standing around in circles really doing much, but I mean, that's on them.
Time out. Quit putting these people on this TV. Teach your kid how to talk. They're there just to stand around and for our safety. Hey, sis. They're there to help if need be for the people at TSA. You don't watch nothing? All right, roll the clip.
What have they been doing?
I don't know. Standing around. Don't see them doing a whole lot of anything.
They've been very friendly and they've greeted us at each time we've been at a different stop.
I think it's totally unnecessary. It's my opinion. You know, I don't know. I just think it kind of makes you a little nervous just seeing them around.
Once again, ICE agents have arrived here in Philadelphia, but I do want to point out, this is an empty line right now. We are standing in the middle where travelers come to check in for TSA. Yesterday, this was all the way back to the garage. So good news today, lines aren't too bad. We're live from PHL. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News.
So I don't know if people are sleeping under a rock or what, but they just mentioned that the ICE agents' presence there, whatever they're doing, the line is getting shorter. What's the complaint about? Now let's go to my hometown. when I say hometown, where I've been for the last 20 years. Let's go to Phoenix. This is why I love this state. Because, see, the people of this age, they still figure it out. Everybody else is stupid. Listen to what they have to say, Rotoclip.
When you see ICE agents, being deployed, what goes through your mind?
I like it. I mean, I think Trump's doing a hell of a job. I like it.
Most of the travelers we spoke with say while it's disappointing the current shutdown is having a negative impact on TSA staff, they're pleased to see ICE agents stepping in.
They're protecting us. Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Thank you, sane people from the great state of Arizona. Let's talk to the TSA workers and see what they have to say, which I think that this gentleman was incredibly reasonable, and it just make common sense. You stupid suckers that sit there and collect that paycheck and y'all argue with each other like kids and can't come to a conclusion, and you got these good people out here starving, having to go on credit cards, missing bills. Y'all are sickening. Every single one of y'all, Republican and Democrat, you should be ashamed of yourself. There's no way in the world that these people shouldn't be getting a check. But you get a check. It's crazy. Rotoclip.
Lawmakers, listen, we're not Republicans, we're not Democrats, we're not independents. We're just people that come to work every day to do our job. And all we expect you guys to do is do your job. Pay us for what we do. That's all we're asking. Passengers, listen, we're going to do our job. We're going to be professional. We're going to get you through as fast as possible. There might be some delays. Here at DCA, we have a wonderful team. We're doing our job. We're doing our part. So listen, work with us, and we're going to work with you guys.
So I just finished my 12-hour shift at TSA. Just now, worked 4 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and still not getting paid for it. Fun stuff. So, Congress, if you would do us all the favor of figuring your shit out, of figuring out what needs to happen to fund the rest of the government, that would be great. Especially doing that before considering a $200 billion bill for the Iranian war. Thank you.
Can't help but notice that we are at Reagan National Airport, which is a very unique airport in that it is the airport that most members of Congress use.
This is true.
Can you tell me what it's like seeing members of Congress pass through your security lanes? They are paid. It's up to them on both sides of the aisle to get you paid. Can you tell me what it's like to see them pass by?
It's one of those things where you realize, like, you're coming through and I want to ask you questions and I want to have that conversation with you, but it's not the time for it. But it's like, do you see me? Do you see that I'm showing up every day? Do you see that I'm doing the work, that I'm putting in the effort, and there's still no change for me? It does not.
I love what she said. Shout out to the sister there. Common sense sister. Y'all need to get y'all stuff together, Congress. I'm so sick of what Congress do. It's like pointless. You guys get in there and you just disagree. Y'all like two people in a bad relationship. What are y'all doing? It should be against the law for Congress to disagree for so much time. It should be like, at some point, y'all got to agree, okay, are y'all fired? Let's bring a new batch in here because y'all too stupid to get along with each other. And I'm not trying to say that, because I don't think the Republicans are the problem, to be honest. People say I'm biased in. I don't think the Republicans are the problem. It's the Democrats. They fight everything Republicans do. Even if it hurt the country, they still fighting, arguing. All right, but we got to get to the next story. I got Joe Kent, and then we got that quadriplegic that somehow shot somebody in a car. Like, how you get a gun? How you nubbing a gun? And how you got a car?
Bruh.
Both, like, if y'all believe in conspiracy theories, I got questions. How you pull the trigger on a gun with nubs? But I guess he did it. But we got to talk about Joe Kent just real quick. And I want to say this about Joe Kent. For all you foolish people out there, especially you, I ain't going to say that. Let me not get myself in trouble. But y'all know who y'all are. Talking all that noise about Brandon Tatum. The Brandon Tatum, he only had 3 years on the police department. 3 years on the police department? Like, you can't even criticize me with facts. I was on there about 6.5 years. I was on the SWAT team. And you 3 years on the police department because you stand up for Joe Kent. You know how gay you are? Talking about you kissing that dude butt. Joe Kent is a nut. And y'all out here supporting Joe Kent, who I think he has gotten himself in a situation where he used to be. I don't know what he did in the service, but you get deployed to combat zone that much, you a hero. But then somehow you lost the plot, bruh. Listen to all that he said about Iran is not a threat. Donald Trump, we're occupied by Israel. And then look what he said. I don't know if Trump said, you better correct this, I'm going to put you in jail. This is what he says. Donald Trump is working to get peace in Iran. If he can make this happen, it will be a very good thing for our nation and our allies in the Gulf. The Israelis will be against this, but POTUS is strong and can get them on board. Now, which one is it? This is why I don't fool with these people. Which one is it? Are we controlled by Israel, or is Trump bossing up like we always know he do? Which one is it, Kent? Which one is it? For you cowards out there supporting him, which one is it? You just said, well, first of all, you said that Iran was a threat almost your whole career. I got a tape of this fool when he was running for office complaining that the candidate running against him was pro Gaza, Hamas, and not strong enough for Israel. Then I got the fool that Trump shared it, videos of this fool out here saying Iran was a threat. Then he get in front of the world and say we're controlled by Israel and that Iran is not even a threat. In my opinion, endangering the reputation of our country, shaming our president, and really putting our troops at reputational risk. You idiot. And then what does he do? He turn around and go, Donald Trump is strong. And Donald Trump, the Israelis going to be against it, but Trump is strong. Well, if he run by Israel, he ain't strong. Did he get strong yesterday? You can't make this sugar honey iced tea up. Come on, Trump. What did Trump have to say? Real quick, roll it.
Mr. President, do you know whether Joe Kent was leaking?
Look, I'm not a fan of the guy. If you look at, and you never cover this, if you look at his truths or whatever he went on, if it's X or truth, if you look at his truths or his statements, he was all for everything. All of a sudden, he wasn't. He was a man that I met at Dover. He came and his wife was killed. He remarried fairly quickly. His wife was killed.
All right, pause. I think y'all seen this clip of Donald Trump before, but he goes on, and the reason he said he married quickly, because I heard that his wife is a raging nut job leftist. Now, I don't know his wife, haven't seen anything, but that's what the rumor on the streets is, that fool then went and married a leftist. And maybe they'd explain why he's so silly. But then Donald Trump goes on and articulates why he's so disappointed in Joe Kent, because Joe Kent, he gave him a chance, an opportunity, and look, he stabbed him in the back. He stabbed Trump in the back. What an idiot. All right, let's go to Andrew Covid. I got a couple things to say about Andrew Covid, but I like him, so I'm going to try to be nice to him. Andrew Covid talks about the fact that, and I was right, wasn't I? Y'all that watch me, you know I was right. And I'm not trying to act like I'm some type of oracle or something. You know, I put two and two together, right? So Andrew Covid goes on to say, here's the facts. Yes, I shared a screen grab with Joe Kent because I was told that I could trust him and I wanted every possible lead pursued. We've done this quietly behind the scenes with countless items. Yes, he did suggest that I make it public. I declined. A few weeks later, the screen grab was leaked anyway. I'm not going to recklessly tarnish someone's reputation if I don't have refutable proof. But now that my name is being brought up, it's time to address it. Well, let me just say this, and I love you, Andrew. I know you're watching this. I wish you would have addressed this a long time ago. Joe Kent is a nut, and I think that, you knew that he's the one a long time ago when it first hit the scene. And the reason why I think Joe Kent should have been called out early, because that was so disrespectful to Charlie Kirk and his legacy for his private text message to be released. And when Joe Kent decided to stab his own friend in the back, well, I think he said he was friends with Charlie. I don't know. Y'all could say it better than me. And put his messages out there to the ether, that's wrong. And he should have been called out for it. Now, let's play a little bit of this show. I just want to give them a chance to say something about it. I'm not going to bore you too much with all of it because it's 3 minutes of a few things that I think I can address very quickly. But I want to give them a voice. Roll the clip.
Some people are so obsessed with these same conspiracies that they concoct for every other thing that ever happens. And so they have to shove it into this one, too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories than about the person who murdered my friend facing justice. I am fed up with it.
Yeah, and you should be. And this is, I mean, this is a tough job for us today, to be honest, because this is really personal. I have been open to everything. I think, candidly, I don't get enough credit for even the fact that I shared these group chats in the first place. We shared a lot of information about trans, about Charlie, how Charlie was more concerned about than any other community about the trans coming after him. You want to know the truth? That's actually the truth. I heard over the course of the last 2 years of Charlie's life, probably about 50 references of how he knew the trans.
All right. We'll play the clip later. Let me just say this real quick. This is what I think. It sounds like it's hindsight, but if I was somehow in a position to consult Turning Point USA, this is what I would do. This is what I would have done. Every time I see Candace Owens get on TV or any one of these people get out there, I would have a team of people because I got enough money to do it. I'd have a team of people looking at everything Candace and everybody else say that could be damaging the Charlie Kirk legacy, and I'll document them, and I'll have fact checkers fact check it, and I will disseminate information either through other influencers or through Charlie Kirk's show or in written form on Substack. I would be dismantling every single thing that is said about Charlie that was not true from the beginning to the end. If I were to lose my life, my wife would be all over y'all ashy elbows. It won't even be a millisecond before she all over you. And I would expect my team, and y'all hear me, I would expect my team to be all day long just debunking all of this stuff. I don't care if we have to do it through text. I don't care if we have to leak information and send it to influencers. Y'all better not let my reputation get tarnished because some fool want to get online and get rich or push conspiracies. Or even if the person isn't foolish, they fall for some okey doke. Don't let my reputation get screwed up, man. I worked hard for this reputation. So when people say that Charlie was becoming a Catholic, if that's not true, you need to say that it's not true. When people say Charlie Kirk was turning on Israel, I think he was frustrated with Israel, but I don't think he turned on Israel. There's no evidence of that. For the people that know it, I seen the messages from people know what's going on, but I would like for them, if I was a consultant, put that out there. Quash the bull crap before it gets too big. It's like, this is what I say about putting out fires. You need to extinguish the fire. Like, for instance, when the first house is burning, you get the fire department to put that fire out. You don't just expect for the fire to die out on its own. There are situations where you let fires burn out, but in situations like this where the drama is spewing, you put the fire at the first house. Because if you're not careful, the fire will spread to the second house, third house, fourth house, and then the whole neighborhood is engulfed. And then now you're trying to put a fire out with the neighborhood engulfed. It's going to be a lot more difficult. You don't want to let the fire burn. I know that it's a tactic that people use, and I get why they use it. A lot of times it makes sense. You stop talking about something and it goes away. And you just avoid it, right? You just, I don't even address this, and then before you know it, people be on to something else. I get that theology. In hindsight, yeah, you could say that people shouldn't do that. It works for people in a lot of cases. But I just really do think that we need to get in front of these things. People tell me I shouldn't talk about Joe Kent and everything because people be following me. Even there was a YouTube analysis say that the people are mad because I talk about Charlie Kirk. I mean, not Charlie Kirk, but I forget that dude's name now. What is his name? Tucker Carlson. I couldn't think of his name. Tucker Carlson, I'm defending Erica Kirk. That's what YouTube told me, is that people seem to have a problem with me defending Erica Kirk. I never thought in my life that people that follow me or come to my page will be mad because I said I don't believe Erica Kirk is a bad person and whatever, Chucky and all kind of stuff people be saying. I don't believe that. It says that people have a problem because it diagnosed the comments. People have a problem with me standing up for Charlie Kirk. I never in my life thought I'll see the day that Charlie gets assassinated and now I'm a pariah because I'm standing up for Charlie Kirk and his legacy. Never thought I'd see the day. But you know what the difference is between me and other people? And I ain't gonna lie, I had to think about this because losing followers and stuff like that, it lose your money, man. I had to think about it. But at the end of the day, I said, no, I ain't come here to play. I came here to be genuine. I came here to be honest. I came here to do the same thing that I've been doing, and that's why y'all love me. And I'm going to continue to stand up for Charlie Kirk, and I don't care how many followers I lose. I'm going to continue to call out people like Joe Kent because they're damaging to the American dream. They're damaging to our country. They're damaging to our party. These fools are nuts. Because if they were just, upset about a few things and they had a difference of opinion, that's different. But when you are flat out going out and trying to destroy the reputation of the president, lying and being deceptive, and that's not even something you really believe, you're just pushing an agenda, I got a problem with you, and I'm going to call your dirty self to the carpet on it. All right, I think that's enough, Joe Kent. Do we have, I need to say one more thing. Maybe we'll talk about this in post-show clarity. I got to say one more thing just real quick, and then we're going to get to the quadriplegic. But Joe Kent and all these other people, and I'm gonna call Candace later because she said she's gonna call me back. I gotta talk to her and warn her and others that you need to be cognizant of what you are saying about Charlie Kirk in the trial, because you can be subpoenaed to testify, especially Joe Kent, against Charlie Kirk, meaning for the killer against Charlie Kirk. And that's going to be a bad day because all they want you to do is create reasonable doubt in one juror. All these conspiracy theories that are not substantiated by any real legitimate evidence will cause you to call into reasonable doubt or call into question of all the facts and get somebody off that should have been found guilty. There's so much evidence, and you wait. All the people that follow me and love me, for you haters, you're going to eat crow in a minute. You wait. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong, and I'll give $1,000 away to my haters, or at least one hater. I'll pick one of y'all haters, and I'll give you $1,000. But I can almost put my career life on it that when that trial start, when the direct questioning happened, and the prosecution called their witnesses and experts, when you see all the evidence that's against Robinson, y'all are going to eat crow and you're going to apologize to the Officer Tatum. And I'm going to set up an email just for you to email me an apology. Because, and a voicemail. We're going to set up a voicemail, right, Grant? We're going to set up a voicemail so you can call in and voice your apology to me, because I'm telling you, after doing law enforcement for the many years I've done and being trained by guys who had hundreds of years of experience total, that I understand how investigations work, and I understand how you need to wait until the investigation is done. You need to, because there's so much stuff that people don't know that's existing behind the scenes, and you need to be cognizant of that. Every investigation, I've done it. I've been a part of investigation. The public have no idea that we have all kinds of evidence. We don't prosecute you without crazy amount of evidence. I was right in Breonna Taylor case. I was right in 99.9% of these cases. I think I was right in the cases where the verdict wasn't what I expected it to be. And it was only twice. One was a police matter, one was a civilian matter. Only twice in the history. And I think I was right. I think that was a bad ruling. But anyway, you need to pay attention. We'll talk about it more in the post-show clarity because I need to get to that. Let's get to this quadriplegic that ended up shooting somebody driving a car. Lord, it's a miracle. I don't know if the dude can fly. But not to make fun of him, the dude killed somebody, which is insane. Let's get to the news clip so you can get a synopsis of all that has happened in this case. Roll the clip.
Quadruple amputee cornhole champion now facing murder
Hold
charges
on,
for
time out.
allegedly.
Did it say quadruple amputee? I think she said that. It sounded like she said triple. I'm like, how you get a triple and not quadruple? Anyway, roll the clip.
Shooting and killing someone
Go back.
in his vehicle. Quadruple amputee cornhole champion now facing murder charges for allegedly shooting and killing someone in his vehicle. The incident happened in Maryland before the alleged shooter then left to Virginia. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cotterobles is in studio with the shocking details on this. Mark?
Yeah, Michelle, good evening.
Time out. I'm going to let it finish. I'm confused in 400 different ways. How are you a cornhole expert? Like, that's a sport? And then you don't have no hands and feet. You shot somebody? And you don't have hands and feet, legs and elbow, knee, arms. He got nubs. And you got a car? I like, what? Lord, what is happening here? Let him finish.
Alone is not something you hear every day. The man charged in the deadly shooting is a quadruple amputee who was driving a car as the shooting happened. He is 27-year-old Dayton James Weber, seen here in this mugshot. He's been in the spotlight before, but for much different reasons. Weber was featured by ESPN a few years ago, highlighting his success as a competitive cornhole champion. Now, after the incident last night, he is a murder suspect accused of fatal.
White people, come here. I love y'all. But are y'all trying to create sports so you can win some stuff because black people just doing too much? Is that what? Just tell me how you really feel. How did cornhole become a sport that they have championships in? You're throwing a bag of sand into a hole. That's something that at a restaurant they just play games with. Y'all didn't turn that into a sport. I used to always wonder, why are they throwing a javelin? What is the steeplechase? Y'all running, jumping into water. Why y'all doing this? Is it because the Negroes then just dominated all the cool stuff? I know it's probably some historical context to a javelin throw, right? But the shot put, I mean, I guess it's a thing. Nothing against shot put out there. I know it's a bunch of thicky smiles out there throwing that shot put, and y'all good at it. But I be seeing sports come up, and I'm like, y'all just make like that other one where they got this broom, and they doing the broom, and the curl. I ain't even know what it was. They curling like a curling iron. They curling. Like, who decided to push a rock over some ice and call it a sport? Now, I bet look, I'm joking. Somebody gonna be mad at me. I curl over for 45 years. I know it's not easy because I couldn't even skate and do a broom at the same time. But y'all gotta just tell me like it is, man. Y'all just making up sports. All right, I love you. Okay, roll the clip.
Shooting a passenger in his car while driving through a small town in Maryland.
What?
Local authorities alerted by two witnesses who were passengers in the back seat, revealing a well-known name locally as the suspect.
There's been many news stories done about him, and a lot of people are very familiar with him.
That being said, the prior news stories, all positive.
Yes.
Not only did he allegedly fire the gun, he's also driving the car. What do you know about those circumstances on how he can even accomplish this?
What I would say is that his accomplishments and capabilities have been well documented on the internet. There's a YouTube channel and a lot of stories out there about what he is capable of doing. And we would urge anybody who has questions to just look at his name and look at the videos.
Here are more of those videos. He competes as a pro in the American Cornhole League. He has been a quadruple amputee since he was a child. At 10 months old, he was given just a 10% chance to live. To save his life and stop a deadly sepsis infection from spreading, doctors amputated both of his arms and legs. As for the shooting, authorities ultimately found a body dumped in a yard. Weber across state lines in Virginia. He is now facing a first-degree murder charge.
Nah. You can't. I'm done. You can't convince me that. I need to see some evidence. You tell. Hold on, y'all. Maybe I missed something there. Y'all help me. I could have sworn he just said a quadruple amputee is driving a car, simultaneously shooting somebody, and then a body is dumped. So you telling me he's driving a car, he shoots somebody, and he dumped the body? I'm not trying to be fun. Like, I think we need to investigate this a little more. Y'all talk about all this other stuff that's impossible. World Trade Center, yeah. Building 7. Quadriplegic shooting, driving, and dumping a body. Well, they got video of him shooting. Let's see how he shoot the gun. He got the mag in there.
Let me get your phone.
This looks dangerous. Wait a minute, what is he pulling the trigger with? got good control of the gun and everything. I know this may sound insensitive. I'm sorry. Whoever got killed by this guy, RIP is terrible, but it is bizarre. And I'm sorry. I apologize if I offended anybody. I know that I got to put it in perspective. Somebody did die in this situation, but that's crazy. I just think it's crazy. It's like the craziest story I've ever heard in my life. Unfortunately, somebody died, and it's kind of weird. It's like, how do you arrest this guy? You can't put the handcuffs on. I mean, you can't really zip tie. Anyway, I'm just confused by it. Anyway, shout out to everybody that support me, follow me. I just want to say again before we go to post-show clarity real quick, how much I appreciate you guys. You've been the lifeline of this channel, and I want you to know that. I'm looking at you. Let me look in the camera. I'm looking right at you. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you so much for your support, for the likes, for the subscribes, for the shares, for telling your mom and them. I appreciate you guys. You are the reason that I haven't just said screw all of this stuff and walked away. I'm so sick of getting all this hate and all this, and I feel like my talents are beyond just a podcaster. But you know what? When I see you guys on the streets and you guys talk to me, it makes me feel like this is why I do what I do, and I will forever do what God has called me to do and be supportive of keeping the messaging going. I will never quit because of y'all, all right? And for those of you who want to join us in the post-show clarity, we got about 30 seconds, and we're going to see you guys on the other side. God bless you. I'll see you over there.